Good day. Dan Davis, co-founder Financial Planning World. As part of our industry trend series, today's video will focus on scale, mergers and acquisitions. 2019 had some huge headline news between three major financial service institutions either acquiring others or merging together. Literally, in my view, changing the landscape of the financial service industry that you and I serve in. In 2000, the first merger that occurred that actually was close to me, I thought that the mergers and all that would stay at the institutional level where the big would get bigger and the small would go away. But over the last 5 years, what I've been able to observe, and my research has confirmed, that at the practitioner level, we're seeing record numbers of mergers and acquisitions as well. This is alarming to me because it has the possibility of changing our landscape too in a way that could negatively affect you and I if we don't adjust and adhere to that. Now, why is it that I believe that? If you take a look at what's occurred in the RIA and the enterprise space, you're seeing record numbers of mergers and acquisitions. Now, why that affects us is that these institutions, as they get larger, they gain competitive advantages in the marketplace, which makes it much more difficult for us to win when we're competing against them, especially when you're working with the higher account sizes. So I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes chatting with you about the problems that I see, and then also talking with you about how Financial Planning World has the ability to create a network that you can be part of to compete in this space. Now, let's start with the sort of the macro and work our way down to the micro. At the macro level, early 2000s, there were over 6,000 broker-dealers in the United States. August 2019, Investopedia says that there are less than 3,700 broker-dealers, according to FINRA. According to the Financial Times, as well as Devoe Company, mergers and acquisitions in the RIA space hit back-to-back records in 2017 and 2018. Devoe and Company, a specialist based out of New York, works both on the consulting as well as the banking side within the financial sector. They believe that this merger pace is going to continue to accelerate. So clearly, when I said earlier that I thought that mergers and acquisitions were going to stop at the institutional level, that is not the case. Mergers and acquisitions are at the practice level. Big money has arrived, and it affects both you and it affects me. Why is that? Big money, when you take a look at these mega firms, has the ability to get bigger technology. They have the ability to go out and hire some of the best people. They're operating in the symphonic model, which gives them the ability to serve a lot more customers. So, for example, you take a look at my cousin was hired by one of these firms. My cousin was a CPA, was a practicing estate planning lawyer, had never been in the financial service industry. He's been doing this a fraction of the time as me, yet he now has acquired more clients, and his practice exceeds mine by over 100 million of AUM. Now, when I fast forward it beyond that and I sort of take a look at cost, human resource cost. When I came to LPL in 1998, there were 3 of us. We shared 2 support staff people. If I look at my team today, I have 2 people just for myself that are high-level finance people. One's a certified financial planner, the other's degree is in financial planning, and we have someone who's being trained right now with a degree in economics. The total cost of those 3 exceeds what my gross revenue was when I started with LPL. What are some of the key factors driving mergers and acquisition at the practice level? First, really, is just capitalism. If you take a look at the history of capitalism, whether you do the railroad industry, the car industry, technology, what we see is at the mature stage of the industry, scale forms and forces out the little guy. Second is really like what I would classify as demographics. Every conference you attend, you hear about the amount of money that customers and consumers have. We'll just call that demographics. Well, big money hears those demographic stories as well. And our industry has some pretty spectacular margins at the practice level. Third would be around what I'll classify as the aging advisor. My team attended Summit's Barron's Summit Team Conference in Vegas in February 2019. One of the breakout sessions, Eric Scheikowitz, co-founder, managing partner for Focus, was at one of the breakout sessions and was quoted as saying the average age for FAs is 58. My question is, how much longer are they going to work? And as they get ready to exit, how are they exiting? And that drives a lot of these mergers and acquisitions as well. Lastly, it's kind of a mixture of several things: competition, business complexity, increased regulatory demands. All of it really summarizes itself into the fact that I agree with Devoe and Company that these mergers and acquisitions are most likely going to continue to accelerate. Who are some of the really key players in this? We referenced Devoe and Company out of New York. There's also Dynasty, Focus, Hightower. Surprisingly enough, not so much, their headquarters are places like San Francisco, New York, Chicago, exactly where you would expect big money to be housed. As I met with many of these firms, I understood their business model more and more. The thing that really surprised me the most was the high quality of their general partners and their board members. For example, Dynasty, if you take a look at their board members, it looks like something from the Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous. Harvey Golub is on their board. For those of you who don't know, he's a past CEO of American Express Financial Advisors. And some would even say Goldman Sachs. And why I would say that is best quoted from a FA magazine article, July 1st, 2019. Eric Rasmussen authored, titled "Swimming with the Sharks." I find that title to be pretty humorous. Did you hear a tornado alarm in May? That may have been the sound of Goldman Sachs invading your industry. The investment bank's purchase of United Capital for $750 million has likely changed the game in a space already giddy with M&A activity. The consolidation in the RIA world is happening at a rapid pace, continues to go on and on, confirming what we were talking about earlier. So what does all this mean to us? First, big money firms are here to stay, and they're going to get bigger. It's going to be harder and harder for us to compete. Doesn't mean that we're going to go out of business, but they're going to have better technology. They're going to have the best team players. They're going to be in a symphonic model, and they're going to be able to serve more clients. It's going to be harder and harder as we compete for new customers. This is exactly why I decided to found Financial Planning World. The reason being is I looked at all my options. After 30 years serving clients independently, I did not want to go to one of these big money firms and feel like I had kind of sold out or merged in. If you're interested in learning more about how Financial Planning World helps people pursue excellence in financial planning by collaborating in best practices where we're really learning and teaching each other, sharing, if you will, in the areas of financial planning and business operations. If you're interested in operating as an investment fiduciary so that we can sort of push back on the competition of scale, allowing our network to garner and build that scale, giving us the competitive advantage that we need so that you can win in the battle that's been waged right around you, whether you're aware of it or not, because you are the hero in serving your clients. Visit financialplanningworld.com to see how we can come around, partner with you, involved with our network, and be your guide. Visit financialplanningworld.com to learn more. Thanks for joining us.